drop a beat.
This is how it starts.
Y'all didn't know I have a DJ name on the weekends?
We drop a different beat.
All right, it is time for the Funkast Blast.
Ooh, Funkast Blast. Funkast Blast.
Funkast
Pew.
Blast.
Pew, pew, pew.
Funkast Blast. Funkast Blast. Pew, pew, pew.
Today we won't chew into the mics this time.
Is that a better one?
That was awesome.
What's up, fanatics? Welcome to episode 133 of the Funko Funkast, the only official Funko podcast recorded at Funko HQ in Everett, Washington. This is your host, Sully.
It's Ashley from work.
Kyle Powers.
And Jesse.
And that
You
long
had a lot of
pause.
sauce on the what's up there.
I've been working on it.
You have.
Yeah, it sounds fun when you take the mic from back
it's
here
perfection,
and then bring
sir.
it in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I put a little pepper on it.
Oh.
And there is your first Letterkenny reference of the day.
Is that a bingo square now? Because
Oh, that should
probably
be.
should.
It should be. Well, I mean, you've dove right in, so let's just hit that bingo topic.
let's do it.
We are in the process of updating with new ideas for bingo because not only do we need that for our weekly podcast, but we also need it for our lives. I think that may come into play. So if you have ideas for bingo squares, I think a Letterkenny reference is it should be one of the squares. What do you think, Jesse?
I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Allegedly.
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 Jesse's the one that really pushed me to watch Letterkenny. He had to show me that first clip a few times, and then I finally caved, and it's probably the best thing that happened to me
You
in
guys
2019.
talk about it all day.
Very much.
Texas has
There's an awful lot of talk.
can confirm. All right, so we normally do regular episodes, and then we have get to know episodes. This week is kind of a hybrid. You guys recognize a few voices you don't hear a whole lot, but you guys have each been on once before. Jesse joining us. Jesse, tell us a little bit. What do you do here at Funko?
I am a marketing coordinator here at Funko.
And you were on the one episode of the Funkast I have not been on.
Yep.
When Ashley hosted, it
Might
was
have been
wonderful.
the greatest of all time, but
You hear anything about this in the greatest Funkast
greatest of all time. I mean, 3 very funny, fabulous people, and a stellar host.
It was a lot of fun to edit a podcast I was not on to record. That was a first for
I
me.
bet.
And then I got some nice shout outs for you guys. So I was laughing as I was editing.
Anytime you're ever sick, whatever, I'll just step on in there. It's fine.
You do a wonderful job. A lot of nice compliments on Twitter after. No one said you did a bad job.
Good.
You gotta love that.
We taught people how to say Davin correctly, which was important.
Davin that ends in an N.
It took when I started. It took me a while to learn how to say his name correctly. I don't know why. It was just I just always wanted to say Davin. I don't know why, but
Yeah, same.
David. I don't know.
Well, don't. That's
It's David. It's David.
that's the best advice
Well,
I can give
don't.
you. Just don't.
Yeah.
And then Kyle, KP over here, we're gonna get to know you throughout the episode, so you don't have to introduce yourself yet.
Save it. All right.
Yeah. Just sit there. Calm down.
Done.
Wait for it.
Just wagging his tail over there.
It's very exciting.
Like an excited puppy. In case we got anybody that's listening for the first time, though, we do need to get this out of the way. We do record weekly to bring you the latest reveals, listener questions, hints, bad dad jokes, pop culture discussions, our own original games, 2 weeks in a row without a game, and giveaways. We got some giveaways for you
Why don't you
guys
just
today.
say occasional games?
Oh, I like that edit.
Quarterly games.
I'm not going to do it this time. And every 7 episodes, a game. I'll make a note of that.
Occasional games.
I mentioned bingo. You guys send us ideas for bingo. Tweet them in. Anything else before we dive into getting to know Kyle?
Oh, wow.
Do we have to?
Are you
You
prepared?
do not have to. No, ma'am.
All right. So, again, getting to know episodes, we like to bring people in that work behind the scenes here at Funko a lot of times. We bring in some people from outside Funko. But this week, it's about time we did it. We got Kyle Powers, who is on our marketing team. Kyle, what do you do here at Funko?
Well, I am Dima's counterpart on the video production team. I hang out with the Funkast and the social media group and all that jazz. And, just try to show up and get things done, I suppose.
No, you get things done.
Yeah, right? I mean,
Videos get done, so
I certainly try. So, yeah. It's,
Yeah, you do a lot of our editing on the videos, don't you?
Predominantly, yeah. Yep. Dima loves to shoot. I like to edit. So it works out really well.
I'm glad to meet someone that likes to edit.
So
It's
he
never
gets-
been my forte.
I didn't realize it was such an anomaly. That
he gets to stare at our faces.
Yeah. Look for those
You poor
sweet,
soul.
awkward moments in the videos and leave them in.
There's the real question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sick are you of our voices?
Oh, gosh, no. I put the podcast on at night. It helps me sleep. The soothing
Lied,
sounds
right?
of
You just
Sully.
looked me right in the eyes and lied to
Sort
me.
of backhanded compliment? What was
It's,
Yeah.
No, it is 100%. I will not get tired of your voices.
Oh,
Very
a lie.
soothing. Well, okay. Corrected. I stand corrected.
I'm gonna start changing my voice, and then we'll see.
Like that.
We just lost half of the audience. Come back, everyone. Come back. Don't hit the button. All right, Kyle, how long have you been here at Funko?
Shoot, I think I started on May, so give or take, I don't know. What's the math on that? 7 months?
And
8 months?
how long does that feel?
Not a full term baby.
No, not a full one. She's due soon. She's kicking pretty hard. I would
she.
say it honestly feels like a good couple of years.
In Funko time,
in a
it
wonderful way, just because there is so much going on all the time, and it is a hoot and or a holler. And
wow.
I dig it. It's
All right.
super fun.
And after that statement, we do need to point out, where are you from, Kyle?
Upstate New York.
And you lived in...
A house? What's the question?
What are some other states you might have lived in?
Texas.
There
Houston.
we go.
Houston.
Oh.
There, I see where you're
Look at
driving
him.
at.
Hootin' and the Hollerin.
own-
Hootin' and hollering,
agenda.
yeah.
His own agenda.
Always with the Texas. I know this guy.
Yeah,
Come on.
spent a little time in Houston. I still got family there, and Sully and I bond over Houston facts. Few and far between. I wasn't there for long enough to know all the good ones, but there's a few.
You catch the big references. I was going to ask an important question, but I'll wait because that's part of where we
Yeah.
get to eventually.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So give us a little history, a little origin story of you. What was your path that got you here to Funko?
Oh my gosh.
Your
Okay.
social and blood type and
Okay, yeah, sure. No. So born and raised upstate New York, went to college at SUNY Brockport, did video production there in Rochester, New York for a good 4 years. I was binge watching Frasier, of all things, and says to myself, Kyle, how about that rain and dank weather and coffee, and why not give it a go? So after the Houston trip, I went out to Seattle, and did video production for a few other companies, and then, luckily enough, made my way here through a mutual connection, Molly Hartney, our creative director. Is that her title?
CMO.
CMO, yep. She is a former boss of mine, and she said I must have done well enough on the first gig, so she gave me an opportunity here, and it's been a blessing. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we heard we have a recommendation. They're going to bring this guy Kyle in that used to work over at Lowe's with Molly, and we're all like, oh,
We were
great.
like, ugh.
We're going to get that guy, that bird.
monster drink and
Eating drywall or whatever it is.
Punching drywall.
Paint
punching
chips.
holes and yeah. That's
No.
me. I've actually toned that down since getting hired here. I've laid off the monsters, but
Oh, have you?
yeah.
Well, I was going to finish the statement because it sounded like I was really setting you up for a fall. No, we've enjoyed you being here.
I appreciate that.
It's been a good addition.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been so much fun. I didn't realize a job could be this much fun. This is definitely a dream gig, and the Funcast and the whole social team and everybody else in between has been nothing but kind and just super wonderful. I couldn't imagine a better job.
So you came on in May.
Yeah.
You missed Emerald City Comic Con, but your first big con with us.
Well, I would say definitely SDCC is the grand master funk daddy of cons, and I got thrown right into the mix.
And what was that like for someone who had never been to something like that?
It overwhelming to say the least. I had never thought about going to a con. It just wasn't my scene. I always appreciated it. I liked looking at pictures going. People seem to have fun, but I mean, words just can't describe it. If you've never been to a convention of that magnitude, nothing can prepare you for it. But everybody took me under their wing. Ashley was kind enough to sit on the plane with me and kind of walk me through what to expect. Sully showed me the ropes. We roomed together, which was a real treat. I apologize for my nonsensical talking in my sleep.
I was too tired.
Yeah,
hear a
no.
thing.
yeah, the word exhausting describes SDCC well.
Yeah. So it was a thing. It was awesome. And I got to go to the Conan show, and we got to do all sorts of we did the fun days, which was out of control. Like, that was just wild. I mean, I was working the whole time just trying to shoot and film, and it was a blast. It was super fun.
Again, good to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we got some fandom questions. You know, the theme here is everybody's a fan of something. What are you a fan of?
Oh, Andrew WK. That's a very simple answer. I love his music. I would then also say The Simpsons. As to what a show and a musician, those are the two things that I'm big on.
I can't believe you didn't say pinball right off the bat.
Well, because pinball's new to my life over the past year, and it's a new addiction, but Simpsons and Andrew WK have been 15, 20 years of happiness.
It's still the romance, the honeymoon stage for
see.
him in pinball.
Yeah.
They're working up to it.
Yeah. But pinball, you're right. Pinball's right up there.
And do you have some favorite characters? I mean, you mentioned Andrew WK.
Andrew WK, if you're not familiar with his work, He is the my spirit animal, really, just a party monster. And party's more of a metaphor for just positive thinking, positive living, and having as much fun as you can. But yeah, so favorite character, my gosh, Simpsons. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Hank Scorpio was a one-time spot. For any Simpsons fans, knows exactly what I'm talking about. You only move twice. Is the title, and it's kind of like the James Bond episode.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yep. So I'm looking at a lot of blank faces. Nobody knows the reference.
Well, there's only 400
only
seasons of The
30
Simpsons?
some odd seasons. Yeah, but this is one of the earlier
Have you seen
ones.
them all?
No, absolutely not.
I was going to be impressed.
Yeah, no.
I don't even
won't.
think the cast members have.
No, yeah. There's a lot. I kind of steered clear after about the 10th or 11th season. The humor and everything. It's changed. It's evolved, and I'm just an old schooler. I like my original setup when Conan used to write and all those guys.
Yeah, I like the first 6 or 7 seasons.
They're
and
so
then
good. It's just so
Yeah.
good, and it's incredibly enjoyable. But yeah.
You know what you're going to get every week,
I
like South Park.
yeah, you're gonna get a giggle for sure.
What do you collect?
Excellent question. This is edited, right? So I got a second to think about it.
But I like to leave stuff like that in just to make it awkward.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
How's
this
that
is
feel, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully, Nerf guns.
Do you?
I don't know them all by name, but for a while, my buddy Tommy and I would go to Fred Meyer every day during lunch at Lowe's, and would just ogle and stare at the the Nerfs in the toy section, and and we'd wait, and probably once a month or every 2 months, I'd go ahead and splurge on a new Nerf gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
What's your most recent
you really
pickup?
treated yourself there.
I fully aware, Ash. Thanks. What I don't. Alpha Hawk, I think, was the last one that I got. He was a big boy, and that was like a little while ago. I've pulled it back. I pulled it back on the Nerf. I should really bring him into the office, but I'm worried it's gonna be like an HR thing when I pop Brian in the eye. Or,
Do not
Yeah.
let Seth from the facilities
Oh,
team
boy.
know this. He and his son are giant Nerf fans as well, and
Oh.
you might end up in a war that never ends.
no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He seems.
You don't
Yeah.
want that.
He is a huge Nerf enthusiast. 100%.
Is that what we would call an official Nerf fan, a Nerf enthusiast?
I
You know?
feel, well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like everybody here is kind of. Were you not into Nerf?
As a kid, and then when I'm around my nephews now, because they own approximately 1 billion guns.
Okay.
I liked squirt guns better than Nerf guns.
Oh, Super Soakers.
Yeah.
Remember
The
Super
backpack.
Soakers?
So, oh, wow.
That's a whole
People
other.
out.
Well, we got in a whole conversation last week about the backpack and the big guns because it was a pain to run around,
Yeah.
like getting all wet and,
And
like
everyone
having those
heard
straight.
ya.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
sloshing.
slushing around, just like,
Yeah.
oh, they're on their way. No, the Super Soaker 100, 200. That was where it was at.
I got the Diva from Overwatch, the Nerf gun. They did that collab, that Overwatch Nerf lineup there. And JJ, actually, when we were at E3, we had a couple extra Nerf guns. And he gave me that one because I'm a Diva fan. And I was impressed with how powerful the new Nerf guns are. They have those balls in them now. Like those
Oh
little
man,
bullets.
they shoot like
It's
40
not
miles
like
per
the
hour.
little whatever.
Or like an
They
air
look
They got,
rifle?
they're
like
like
a-
they're golf balls, like little dimples in them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was testing it out, and I fired it across the house, and I was like, that easily put an eye out.
Totally. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I like to do with that, I forget what the name of that series is, but I'll set up little army men. And you can hit them, and they actually break.
Yeah.
It's just like Home Alone.
Very much so. Yep.
Yep.
So Saturday mornings line up all sorts of different targets and smash them up. My dog hates it though. My dog Reggie is not a fan
Well,
of Nerf. because
have you
it's
shot
so
him
loud.
many times?
Absolutely not. He's just a smart dog and knows that it's danger zone when those things are cocked and loaded.
He goes
Yeah.
behind a chair somewhere and just
He
watches.
cowers under the bed.
Aw.
The new ones are loud too.
Yeah.
they're
Really?
super. Oh yeah, when you.
I was definitely surprised. That thing's packed some force.
I'll bring him in.
Well, we know we're doing the live at Emerald City Comic Con this year. We've announced that already. We're asked fans for ideas on what we should do. I think we need a Nerf demonstration by Kyle.
Oh, don't
And
tease
then-
me.
We could have a
full
target.
John Wick up there.
Yeah.
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 We could put all of our faces as the targets.
And then maybe we can add an element to gaming where people answer a question and then afterwards they get one shot with the Nerf gun at
One sh-
something.
And then they
Yeah.
could win a prize.
I mean, it makes for a great audible
Totally.
content. You know,
Yeah.
we could do some video.
It makes for great.
Might want to have some waivers on standby for people as they walk in on that one.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they aim at us, we're covered under Funko Law, so we're good.
Funko Law. That's a thing.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I trust it. It's like bird law.
You don't get brought into HR Weekly to talk about Funko Law? I do.
Missed that meeting.
Now that you're at Funko, you've got some pops in your collection. Did you have any before coming to Funko? Did you have any Funko products?
I had absolutely no Funko products.
Did you know what Funko was?
Only because Molly, my former boss, went from Lowe's to Funko. So I said, "What is Funko?" And then I looked it up. And then once you look and see what they do, then it's like, oh, all those things I've seen at every single store. Mm-hmm. That's what now I have name association with the products, and I just was not a collector, but I certainly am now to a small degree. I got a sip of that Kool-Aid, and boy, it tastes good. So I can't stop. It's become a small addiction. It started with mystery minis, though. It started with the Cuphead mystery minis, and I was a fan of the game and fan of the artwork and the style of the game. But it just once you kind of get that blind bag in your hand, you don't know what you're going to get. It does. It's a little adrenaline rush, and next thing I know, my paycheck's going right back to him.
Got to feed the monkey.
Similar feeling collecting shoes, so you know.
Is it?
Confirm.
I wouldn't know.
Jesse can confirm.
Can confirm.
That's a bigger commitment.
I know. Slightly
bigger. Although Kyle went in pretty heavy on those mystery minis.
He did.
Yeah, I have a whole drawer full of duplicates. That if you open up my filing cabinet,
Just bring them out for your Nerf guns.
That's a great idea, actually.
Okay, we're really on to something here. Between mystery minis and Nerf guns, there's a game. There's a game there somewhere.
Totally.
Brainstorm just happened.
Yeah. You listeners, if you have some ideas, let us know. Shoot them on in, if you will. That's the only BDJ you're getting for today. That's bad dad joke.
I picked up on it.
There we go. Okay. All right, so we talked fandoms. Anything that we didn't hit on in there that you like to collect or that you're interested in collecting? Doesn't have to be Funko related.
Let's talk about pinball. She started it.
And I've left.
No. Yeah, so Funko has a couple machines downstairs, and when I started, I remember thinking, it'd be really cool if I could get my name on one of these. And it just exponentially got worse. Like, I just got addicted, and once I got my name on one, then I wanted to get all the spots, and I wanted it on all the machines, and we got some friendly competitions going with some other members of the marketing team. And that is 100% my favorite pastime now is exploring and finding new pinball bars in Seattle. And it's an absolute blast. Super fun.
At lunch, Kyle just disappears. I don't know if he actually ever eats. He just ends up at the pinball machines.
Yeah, they get upset with me, I think, because on Friday, I think I started just a little bit early before Buffy was done airing. They go down and they have Buffy lunch hour, and I thought I had timed it out right, and so I sat down there waiting ever so patiently. With the ball plunged and just holding it with the flapper, it was trapped. And I was literally waiting because I didn't want the machine to start dinging and everything and making it upset.
That's an effective use of time.
It's not. I was really. It was for a couple of minutes. I'm just standing there, just trying to be polite.
You're just standing there with the ball.
The ball's already plunged, and I caught it because I'm like the show's not over, so I had to just stand there with my finger on the trigger for a minute.
A bead of sweat rolling down.
His
cheek.
It's very upsetting for everybody involved.
Do you guys have any questions for Kyle before we get to our lightning round?
What's your favorite pop? You didn't say that.
My favorite pop that I own or in general?
Both.
Oh God. Okay. It's okay. Whew.
Pressure's on now.
I'm going to be a little disappointed if you don't say Elvira.
Well, okay. Well, in all fairness, you did give me Elvira, and it was an excellent gift. Actually, I do have a favorite. My favorite is Tony the Tiger 10-inch because it was gifted to me by several people on Kevin and Brian, and I don't really know who else participated in it, but they knew I was eyeing it, but didn't want to commit. And so when I came back from lunch, it was just on my desk, and it was one of the sweetest things that coworkers have ever done for me. And then I would say, in general, like one of the best pops I've ever seen. God, probably like the original like Pulp Fiction pops that I had. I really that's what part of my fandom is Tarantino movies, and so when I saw those, it stuck out, and I just thought that was super rad that they did like adult content pops.
Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I have not yet. You don't. Oh, that's a face.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
Oh, so you
down.
not? Oh, thumbs down. Yeah.
It's beautifully shot, beautifully acted, but
it is the worst Tarantino
that's all
movie,
I can say.
in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah. There's reasons
Did
to
you watch
love
it
and
yet?
dislike.
I liked it quite a bit.
Okay, I can't wait to watch
I
it. We'll have a
liked it.
conversation because I think I'm going to like it.
Comparing to his other movies,
Which I don't
just
think you can with this one because it's definitely different.
Yeah.
And I it's not your
I
traditional
love Brad Pitt
Tarantino
in it
film.
though,
No.
and Leo did great too. Actually,
It's definitely not your traditional Tarantino film, but I thought it was really, really good for what it was.
It was a
Well,
little lengthy for me.
Like they all are.
they're
Again,
doing a
that's
4-hour
Tarantino.
director's cut that's coming too.
Oh my gosh.
Is it longer than The Hateful Eight?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like it.
no.
Well, just entertainment wise.
Hateful Eight, I think that's still on somewhere right now. It's
On
still
Netflix.
going.
I love Hateful Eight.
They made like a 4 or 5 hour cut of Hateful Eight that's on Netflix, and they broke it into it's a series now.
Oh no, I don't. Need
Really?
That.
Yeah, there's
I
multiple
should've rewatched
episodes.
that.
Hateful Eight
Walter
would be,
Goggins.
would be my least favorite Tarantino film.
Need I say more?
Hateful Eight?
Yeah,
Really?
is my least. I think because when I saw it in the theater, it had an intermission.
Yeah,
so
same.
the first half.
Yeah,
of it,
so did I. I saw it. It was filmed in a different format, and I saw
Yeah.
it in that.
Yeah, the first half of the film I was completely on board with, and I thought I was chugging right along. I was really enjoying it, and then I kind of just wish someone would have stopped me and not watch the second half, because that's where I feel it kind of went off the rails. If it was
Yeah.
so I always tell people, well, watch the first half and then just imagine your own end, because it's probably better than what happens.
I always get that when I have conversations about From Dusk Till Dawn. I'll hear a lot of people will say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love the first half, hated
Until
the
the
second."
vampires.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me? The second half was even better than the first half."
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stardust for a minute.
This podcast was going so well.
I'm sorry.
No, you know what? We're gonna have a getting to know with Jax, and we will go heavy Stardust.
Oh,
She thinks that
I'll have
movie's
to watch
wonderful.
that ahead of time.
Can we do a whole episode on cats? For
Oh
those of
boy!
us that have
Well, that
seen
would
it?
require me to watch it.
There's a few of us here that have seen it.
We'll let you guys record. You can give me the files.
Yeah.
Did you see Cats?
I have not.
Okay.
I want to just know though. I want to be in on the jokes.
That's
if nothing
exactly
else.
it.
But
I'll
it's-
watch it when it's released and it's free on Netflix
Yeah.
or something.
Maybe
but
it'll be like an airplane.
Then we'll do
watch.
like
Yeah,
a
just-
MST3K viewing of
Ooh,
it.
That'd
that
be a
would
lot
be a
of
good
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh man, I have to bring my wife in for that. Nobody can throw some hate at a movie or a sporting event like she can on the fly. Good Lord. Sorry, Texans. All right, we've got some bonus questions for you. These are questions that are sent in to us often on the Funcast that we hash out regularly. I'm going to fire them at you like a speed round, kind of. So just give me the first answer that comes to mind.
Here we go.
Often debated on the Funcast with the fans, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Oh
If I may qualify, not with red sauce. So chicken wing pizza with pineapple on it is phenomenal.
Whoa, so buffalo sauce in place of the red sauce?
Yep.
Cheese, chicken pieces, and pineapple?
I prefer it actually without the chicken pieces because it creates an additional level of grease. But if you just go cheese and pineapple on basically a Frank's Red Hot sauce is the best. It's super delicious.
Okay.
And the haters that don't believe me, you just try it.
Somebody told me that like pineapple with jalapeno on their pizza. Now I kind of want to try all that mixed together.
Yeah.
Just
this
a bite.
sweet and spicy is essentially where you're getting at, and it's amazing. So give it a go.
All right.
You're not going to. I can tell. that sigh was he's not going
I'm
to
taking your word for it
I'm
all
not
the way.
spending $13 to try this, but if somebody has it, I'll try it.
You know what you could do is, and I've done this before because I've been to a place that has not accommodated that request. Get a can of pineapples and then just put a couple on a chicken wing pizza, and you tell me it's not delicious.
Oh, I probably will. But
Okay, well there you go.
what or where was the best burger you ever had?
Fargo Bar and Grill. The Fargo Bar and Grill in Aurora, New York.
Is this at the airport?
It is absolutely not. It's in the
Okay.
middle. It's in Aurora, New York, middle of nowhere, off of Cuga Lake, my hometown, and the bar just has the best burger. And it's what I look forward to going home to every year, and it's what I have to have, and it is just wildly delicious.
Okay, now I want to try that.
Yeah.
What is the best fast food burger place you've had?
Okay.
Like a chain.
Yeah. No. I don't want to say McDonald's, but like I think McDonald's has my favorite.
Oh,
Has my favorite burgers.
my.
It's happened again.
Wow.
Not
Dude,
since
what-
Veronica.
I
What
have
it-
to go tell V.
Yeah.
Like, there's another one of you in the building.
What is yours?
In and out. Hands down. Dick's is
Man.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
You've had In-N-Out, Shake Shack,
Shake
Whataburger.
Shack is also delicious.
Yes. Yep.
You've
Yep.
had all those.
Yep. And if you
And
want to
you
go
would
with my
prefer-
favorite, it's my I know it's just not healthy.
Which
It's just-
McDonald's burger? We talking Quarter Pounder, Big Mac?
I'm gonna go ahead and say quarter pounder, double quarter pounder if I'm feeling ambitious. And,
All right.
and ready to just cry myself to sleep.
Everyone's a fan of
You
something.
get the meat sweats right after that.
Yeah, it's no good.
Did you put meat in air quotes?
I sure didn't. You did.
Touche.
I didn't even move my hands. I didn't know you could air quote.
You were blinking pretty.
You blinked
Like meat sweats.
with a lip curl.
Yeah. And a lazy eye.
Ooh, nope, easy with that. If Funko could make one pop of your choice, any license, any character, no restrictions, who would it be and why?
Okay. Aside from Andrew WK.
I knew it.
I said aside. I'm going to go, and maybe they have, I don't know. I'm going to say Pauly Shore,
If not,
his character from Biodome.
ooh,
Because I think, I was just talking about it today at lunch. I don't know if anybody was paying attention.
Can confirm.
But yeah, okay, great. It is my favorite comedy, I think. At least top 3 favorite comedies of all time.
now this is interesting because a lot of times your favorite movies seem to be the sequel to an original film.
Sure.
Like
and
you
if
like
you want,
Home Alone 2.
if you want to say Biodome's the sequel to Pauly Shore's career, like I do though. I'm a big fan of sequels.
Yeah.
I like you said, Home Alone 2, I believe and would argue to the death that it's better than the first.
What's the other one? You had another one that you thought the sequel was better than the first one.
Back to the Future.
That's it. How could I forget that?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Hoverboards.
Give me some. Well, Back to the Future. Okay, I maybe agree with you.
In
on
all-
that one.
in all fairness,
Home Alone.
Yes, 100%.
One is far better than 2.
He is from New York.
I'm from New York, so I think there's probably some.
Yeah.
But it's upstate. It's not the
Biased.
city. Like how perfect is that whole city trip? The music, the soundtrack. I think the music played more of a role in the
There's
second
no Little
film.
Nero, or is it Nero's or De Niro's, the pizza place? What is it in Home Alone 1?
Don't remember.
Yeah,
And
there's
I
no
just
neighborhood
rewatched the
vibe.
I know because he's lost in the city, and the whole city's his neighborhood.
And
You get some
Donald Trump is in 2.
Duncan's toy chest. You got the.
I
Dunk.
mean that
the dunk
Yeah, that looked pretty cool actually.
goes in. Yeah, There's a lot of Tim
And his
Tim
little
Curry,
Walkman boy thing.
talk boy. Get your
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
Tim
it straight.
Curry was the bellman, wasn't
Yeah, yeah. And what's his name? Who's the other little bellboy there? Deuce Bigelow. I can't. Rod Schneider.
Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
he? Really?
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah,
When was
remember.
the last time you watched Home Alone 2?
They're both
Like
fantastic,
6
but I'm
months
still
after it
partial
came
to
out,
one.
probably.
How are you?
I don't think I've
He's
seen
speechless.
We have a first.
Ever?
Kyle
No.
is speechless.
I know you guys are rattling off all these movies. I'm like, I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Home
I
Alone.
thought
Do
you
you
were
like
pretty,
Home Alone?
pretty well versed.
I think I've seen it once, probably when it came out.
Once.
I mean, I know all
You
the
just missed the holiday season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. My wife had it on. I didn't watch it.
I do
I
get.
think that's my favorite holiday movie. Home
Yeah,
Alone.
I get confused when people don't have the same opinion as me. It's very like I just feel like it's an
You're
obvious
wrong.
choice. I feel like Home Alone 2 just objectively is better.
And you've made it this far through life.
I know. It's
impressed.
crazy. Yeah. I
Aren't
got
there-
all my
aren't
teeth.
there many Home Alone films?
There's 4, but only 1 and 2 have Macaulay Culkin in it, and then
Okay.
they switched to some other like nerd-looking dude.
I read
That's
something about
not
a
very
reboot.
nice. The kid.
It's not Macaulay Culkin.
There's a reboot on the way, from what I read.
I'm sure
Probably.
there is.
Oh yeah, Disney wants to do that.
Is
I
that what it
mean,
is?
you could honestly say that about anything.
True.
Yeah. It's
I mean, they're
happening
making
at some
Top
point.
Gun again.
Yeah,
They'll do anything.
Let it happen.
it's true.
That's a real thing. I've seen the trailer. It's happening.
Take.
Do you guys have any questions? Other questions for Kyle? Any of the other ones that you can think of that we get asked regularly? I think those are the big ones. Of course, we like to talk food. So maybe other than burgers and pizza.
Oh, we got a question over here.
Great question.
Yeah.
So, in a movie, you can only keep one actor as a human actor. Everyone else is turned into a Muppet. What movie would it be?
Oh,
We did this last
I said
week.
Superbad, and Jonah Hill would be the only human.
Matrix for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and say. Well,
And I want to know Jesse's answer too.
Jesse, you go ahead.
I don't know why I thought of this, but Godfather and Only Sonny. But everybody else in The Godfather is Muppets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd watch the hell out of that.
Be a little less somber.
I definitely. And the more I think about it, the better it gets. Forrest Gump. Like I just
Okay,
think
who's the main guy?
Tom
For-
Hanks.
Okay.
Like he's still just
What
doing
about
it.
Jenny as the only?
No, I'd say
Jenny
just
or
Lieutenant
Bubba.
Dan.
Just straight up Bubba.
That's where I was
Jenny
going to go.
is such an.
Could you imagine the New Year's scene just with him in the wheelchair and then just puppet Tom Hanks
Well, yeah.
celebrate?
That'd be really good. Or if Jenny was the only Muppet, and she's
That'd be
just like
pretty
the
good, too,
real.
'cause she's an-
she's just a complete jerk and stands out as being like the
Kinda
only.
sucks.
Jenny is awful.
I saw a Twitter poll the other day that's like, what's the worst villain in films? It was
She's
like
up
Darth
there.
Vader.
She was so mean to him.
I'm not gonna disagree. It's an upsetting
I want to
film.
fight her.
Well,
Yeah.
Fight. There it is.
Yeah.
No,
there we
don't
go.
get her started on that. Do you have any questions?
No, actually.
No?
No.
Jesse knows everything. he
Well,
needs.
maybe one. What do you look for in footwear? When you
Oh,
there we go.
Price, baby.
With the,
Give me that.
with the stinger.
the sweet price. Would you like to?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any comments.
No, all right.
Ever.
Well, I just got deemed the Poop Shoe Award via Tristan. Thank you, Tristan. And I didn't realize that I was so offensive with my footwear, but I did upgrade. I found these guys, Asics.
Like
at-
literally on the side of the road, or
No, very cute. Very cute, Sully. It was at Fred Meyer, $35. They're on sale.
Do your shoes always have to have a hint
Of orange, absolutely.
Yeah.
Always.
No, this is a new thing. The last pair did not have a hint of orange. I applied it with new shoelaces.
Oh, man.
I got bright orange shoelaces, and they. Oh, there you go. Sully's lifting up his foot. He's got orange on it.
That's on the bottom.
I do.
That's the sole.
I've always gravitated to the color red, and lately it's been shifting to an orange.
Oh, how appropriate that I gave you the red mic.
Yeah.
Normally
What?
held.
I kept my comment to myself, but I thought appropriate.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So very exciting.
So just
How-
price.
Price
and a
and
hint
comfort.
of
I
orange.
do have old man tendencies. My feet hurt more
Uh-huh.
times than not, so I go for comfort, and then I just wear them until they start hurting. I don't get new ones before you're supposed to. Apparently, that's a thing. Just not
Kinda.
I just wait till my toes are sticking out.
The look on Ashley's face. Apparently, that's the thing. She looks at me like, well, seriously, this guy? Oh, what's up with this guy? Where'd you find him?
Yeah. Where'd you come from?
Good stuff. Well, it's been good getting to know you,
Well, I appreciate you wanting to know more.
but we're not done.
Okay.
We have more of the Funcast ahead.
Is that
Again,
what
this
you
is kind of a
appreciate about
hybrid.
him?
Is that you appreciates about
Is
hers?
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grab any listener questions?
I did not, but if we have time, we could go to the box up there,
Dare you.
and we could jump in.
You have a Boxo question.
Can
up
I
there?
pick the
Yeah.
question out of the box?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Let's do the winners while you're
Yes.
getting the box out, and
Or
then we'll
shimmy
do that.
around and get this box.
So in episode 132, which was last week, we asked you to share the Funcast on Twitter for a chance to win a new Social Media Freddy phone,
Or 2.0, as some people
or
call
Sassy
him.
Boy, however you want to
Sassy
call it.
boy.
Is there an official name for him?
It
We-
says social media on the box, but we're just kind of like coffee and phone.
Yes.
I'm not partial to 2.0 for
Oh,
whatever
so I knew
reason.
2.0. It's just how I know.
In the app, I had them go in and add the new version in the app in case you want to wish list it. Pro tip, get the app, wish list it. It does say social media, or Freddy Funko social phone. That's how you know that it's the 2.0, the
Okay.
new
I
one.
always
Somebody-
just go by the box.
Somebody on live called it like Volume 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Because we're throwing around like
Yeah,
every
there's a-
name
yeah.
possible.
There's a lot.
But our winner last week for sharing was a name you might have heard before. Matter of fact, I guarantee there's some questions in the box from him. Monty Ramos, a.k.a.
Ooh.
Night Bodega, finally taking home a Social Media Freddy. Then over on SoundCloud, you're going to get a Social Media Freddy 2, or phone, and a Funcast shirt. The winner there is Haley Fielstra, which that last name is just fun to say. Fielstra. Fielstra.
Francisco.
I wouldn't even try to say that.
Fun to say.
That's fun to say.
And then on YouTube, we had a mystery prize pack going to Melanie Thorpe, who I believe it was her first time to listen last week, but she took the time to leave a comment on YouTube. That's how you do it.
Wow.
Nice, positive comment. So to Manny and Haley, you'll get a DM on the channel that you won on. To Melanie, you'll need to email us prizes@funko.com because YouTube doesn't allow DMs.
Well, there you go.
One of the biggest platforms on the planet, and you can't send someone a message.
Can't slide into those.
Well, maybe that's why.
You were storing that up.
Yeah. Maybe that's
sitting there,
exactly
low hanging fruit.
Nobody wanted
no
to
one-
fuck it.
no one
I'll
actually-
take it.
That was a softball.
Good for you. Stand your ground, sir.
No soft.
Know what I'm
No
about, son.
softballs.
This week, episode 133, we have got a new Social Media Freddy phone and a mystery item to go to one lucky winner. In order to enter, you'll just need to share the Funcast. So that means listen to me when I tell you this, because apparently the directions are lost.
Listen
on
to
some folks.
Sully.
Listen to the words that I speak. You'll need to share a link to where you listened. So if you're on SoundCloud or wherever you're listening, grab the link, drop it in a tweet. Put in there the Funko Funkast hashtag, which is FUNK.
Oh.
FUNKAST, as well as an emoji this week picked by our guest, Kyle Powers. What emoji would you like them to insert?
Can't
sir?
be the squid. You already did
I
that.
already did the squid, so all right, fine. Ghost. I like the ghost.
Ooh.
Little ghost face.
A non-Halloween ghost. I like it. And tell people why they should listen. Make sure you've got all those components. So link, Funko Funkast hashtag, emoji, and why you should listen.
That's exhausting.
4 steps.
It's really pretty simple. Like, hey, listen to this. They're fun, and they talk about pop culture. And then those other 3 things. Super simple.
Yeah, I agree.
You can do it. And you might be a winner next week. We'll pick the winner and announce there. Then over on SoundCloud.
Are you a winner picker?
A winner picker.
A winner picker.
Over on SoundCloud, all you got to do is leave a single comment anywhere under the Funkast.
So they could just say hi?
You literally could
Or
just
just
say
an
hi.
H?
No,
Just a
that's,
letter?
That's too low. There's got to be a limit. 2 letters, fine. 1 letter, you didn't even try.
What about the whole alphabet typed out?
Now someone's going to do it because
Do
you said
it.
that. But that will be your entry for a chance to win a Social Media Freddy phone and a Funkast t-shirt. And then on YouTube, the video, or not video, the audio will be up on YouTube. Leave a comment below there. Again, anything will do. Don't say first.
Why do people do that? What is that cool to be the first comment?
Absolutely.
I've never seen you do that. You don't even comment half the time.
I certainly don't.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I like to log in as myself and put first under
I'm gonna
there.
start doing that to
just to
Jesse.
steal it from everybody else.
What'd I do?
I'm gonna start doing it to your posts. Your weird posts.
I feel like you were getting annoyed when I kept writing out shoes every time you post pictures of shoes.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, great. I'm going to keep doing it then. I'm going to bring that back.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Was
dare
that
you.
was it the first thing?
On any picture of cat, I always write cat.
Yep.
And you do that with like
do.
Fergus sometimes too,
Yeah.
like paws or
Dog.
toes or.
You often will just state what you're looking at.
Cat.
Like dog.
Dog. Shoes.
Like a label maker. IRL.
I like it.
All right, so that's how you can win. And per Ashley's request earlier, I think we should jump into some listener questions because we do have time. We've got a box in front of us here of questions emailed in by fans.
Are we gonna like update this box before the live?
Have you seen how many are in there?
I know, but this box is just white and boring.
Oh, you
She
mean
just wants some detail.
Not the content of the box, but the box
We should
itself.
put Julie's artwork on here.
Well, what you're looking at is a very sad attempt before the Funky Hundo of me
know, what's
to
this-
develop a new box.
What's this hole here?
That hole was a major failure, is what that was. I was going to cut that, make a nice little flap, and not so much.
All right, here we go. Here from But Twisted. When going through the question box, have you ever come across any questions that are completely outdated that just need to be thrown out because they have remained in the box too long?
What are the odds of you pulling that question after you just commented on the fact that the box
Rigged.
needed to be updated?
Rigged.
Rigged.
It wasn't, though. I saw her.
I
seen
seen
it.
it.
I stirred up.
Who's Ashley?
I think.
I think we have probably.
Yeah. Yeah, there have
So this question is irrelevant now too. So I throw it away.
been. Good job, but twisted, though.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Do you want to pick one?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Who doesn't want to pick?
I'm not going to stir. There's no stirring
Jesse.
needed.
Yeah, I want one. Let me get in on that.
Oh, boy. You,
Oh my god.
you grabbed a novel.
Oh, this is no good because Dima's not here. Should I just park it? It's,
don't know,
it's
let's-
directly for Dima.
Let's
Okay.
answer for Dima, then put it
Yeah,
back in the box
I
for
feel
a
like
future
I'm his
episode.
counterpart. I can maybe help in this. For Dima, I enjoy the creativity of your intros every week, but I have to know if the intros you create are all a part of a shared universe, a Dimaverse, if you will.
Whoa.
If they are you the same character in each mini story, or are you different characters just played by the same actor? Feel free to let the rest of the crew chime in into the Dimaverse concept. And that's from Tom Monteverde.
That's a really good question. I
is.
really
It's
wish
super.
was here to hear
Yeah.
that.
I feel like Kyle should answer this first because you're his desk mate,
Oh my gosh.
and then you. we have at it.
Yeah. So I guess the way I'm interpreting this is like, so he just has, there's a universe, and all these characters are Dima, just as different personas. Is that how everybody's
However you
understanding?
perceive it.
Why are you answering a question with a question?
Yeah, because I need
We don't know.
clarification, Mr. Tom
Dude,
Monteverde.
You pulled it out of a box that we
Tom,
have no.
just
know,
answer the question.
It was so long, I think I just zoned out
Do
midway
you
through the
think
question.
Dima's whole life is like the Truman Show, and we're just living in it?
I hope so. It would give me a.
I'd like to answer this while you're
I'll mull it
questioning the
over. Yeah,
question.
yeah.
I think absolutely. If I'm answering as Dima, that is a universe, but it's called the Pidgeyverse, not the
Rat
Dimaverse. Yeah, because he likes to do that kind of thing. It is absolutely all part of that same continuity, if you will. And I believe there is a secret message in all of those that will eventually piece together, similar to Drink More Ovaltine, but it'll have a little more weight.
I think there'll be more crows too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
And,
pigeons, crows, meat,
Skeleton crows flying around.
There'll be a bloody version, a variant.
There's a strong avian theme though that runs throughout.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yep, absolutely.
As his desk mate, I can concur with everything you're saying.
Can confirm.
Do you have any theories on this?
Oh, I believe it. It's all
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Great question.
Let's put that back in the box. I want to hear when Dima answers.
Actually, save it. Yep.
Yeah.
That might be a whole podcast.
We could.
could
We
be.
could do a Pidgeyverse podcast.
The Deemaverse. I like it.
What do you got over there,
Am I
Jess?
reading
You
this
got a
one?
question?
I sure do. This one comes from Brian Klein. And he asks, with all the TV shows and movie franchises getting rebooted and continuing, what show or movie would you like to see continue? And then he answered the question, should I?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, he would like to see Farscape, a great sci-fi that was awesome, Jim Henson produced, and that ended on a cliffhanger, and was one of the first shows to have a successful online campaign to revive the series to resolve the cliffhanger in a 2-part, 4-hour miniseries, Farscape, The Peacekeeper Wars.
Hillary would 100% agree with this.
I've never even heard of that.
You never heard of
have
Farscape?
I've heard of it.
It's a Jim Henson thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I thought you were doing a bit there. I was like,
Nope.
Where are we go? Where are we going?
And
I black
it was
out
called
sometimes.
Nearscape? What yours? What show would you like to see extended?
Rebooted. I'm fine with my shows being done when they're done. I don't need to
Wow.
revive
There's
them.
nothing you'd like to see more of.
Not if it's. I always feel like it's never going to be as
It's
good.
got to be the right quality.
Yeah, there's something about the time when you watch those, and where you are when you're growing up or whatever. So I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, for me, like Seinfeld season 9 could just go away and then they could
Yeah.
redo it.
Same with season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to find their footing. It took
That's
a little
true.
bit.
But
yeah, I don't.
do you even think Seinfeld would work now?
No.
Think of like all the phones and like
Oh, no.
social media.
No,
It
switching
would have
away.
evolved. I think it would have evolved, but it just wouldn't have
Even
the same.
Friends, like I don't know, would work now.
Yeah, I mean they were of their time, without a doubt. They were good for their time.
Yep.
But now it wouldn't. I don't know. And as far as continuing, I don't
I feel
know.
like you can always tell when a show is starting to lose steam. Like
As
the
soon as-
actors and actresses are just they're like we're on to movies now. People
that,
know
or
us.
the love interest finally gets together and they have a kid, and that's over.
Oh.
yeah, that's the ultimate.
Golden rule.
Yeah.
You can't actually get together on the show. No, it's true.
But it
Is that
does
in real life too.
Cheers.
Yeah. As soon as you have a
Work.
kid, life's over.
Ah.
That's real
Alright.
life.
Cheers, Friends. What's another one? Castle
Office.
with Nathan Fillion. Office. All of them. As soon as the love interests get together,
Parks
game
and
over.
Rec.
Yep. Sometimes they can limp on for a little bit, but
Not
it's
the
never
same.
it's never the same. Yeah.
I'm going to jump in on this one next.
You gonna throw a little Firefly in there?
No, honestly, I don't want that to happen. I've decided I don't. Like, just don't touch it. I don't like reboots so much as I like continuation, and I love what's happening a lot now, where they're bringing back old TV shows and bringing back the same characters and letting the age be part of the story.
Like what?
Yeah, or actually,
I mean,
Roseanne
technically, I
was a
mean,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good example until
It was a
she.
good attempt until she.
Yeah,
Until she Roseanne.
that was all on her. I would love to see Quantum Leap get picked back up again, but I'd like to see Sam Beckett's daughter or son be the one that's jumping through his life. Because that was like a whole big thing, was he could only jump through people in his own timeline. I would like to see his kids go in and jump around. I think that'd be fun. And then one I don't want to ever see is Back to the Future. I don't want that ever touched. I don't want a reboot. I don't want another continuation. Nothing.
You
Just
know
leave it.
It's coming.
What about,
It's going
I
to
know
be
it
coming.
is. I
It's
know.
only a matter
With
of
all
time.
the ads with ET now, what about a continuation of ET with the little boy as like a dad now?
I think
Would you do that?
That could work.
Yeah.
Yeah. E.T. comes back and then he meets Elliot's son or daughter, and then Drew Barrymore could be in it.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
bet
fun.
you that's coming.
Was she too good for the ad? Just saying.
I think she was too expensive for the
Yeah,
ad.
that's what I was
Probably.
thinking.
What do you got? You want anything on there?
Oh, I've chimed in twice. Kyle, what do you have?
I can't think of a reboot that I would want to see, or necessarily a continuation in this sort of description of that. But Muppets, just keep bringing Muppet movies. Like, I think I will never get tired of Muppet movies.
Yeah.
So they can just go and explore and do all sorts of.
Did you see that one with Melissa McCarthy?
I avoided that one like the plague.
Oh,
looked
the Happy
terrible.
Land Murders. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I
that
wanted
it
it to
just.
be good.
So did you see it?
No.
Oh, okay. I heard it was bad.
It looked terrible.
It just, I prefer to keep my adult content separate from my childhood, nostalgia Muppets. They're not meant to be dirty pranksters. That's what I don't know. I assume that's what that movie was.
What about crank calls or?
I was about
Crank-
to say, when he said dirty
Crank-
pranksters, I heard
crank
yankers.
Yeah.
Which is coming back, if it's not already back.
How do you
It all comes
how do you
back.
crank yank that? I mean, like now
Like no
everybody's
one
got
answers
caller
their
ID.
phone
Yeah,
or
nobody
calls
answers.
anymore, so it's a text. Like, who is this?
That's going to play out real well.
Yeah.
Text on the screen. I don't know. The radio station I listen to here locally, 92.5, they do the what do they call them? Phone
Second,
taps.
second date update too.
No, that they do is funny,
Yeah.
but the phone taps where a friend will convince the radio station to call in and mess with somebody.
Yeah.
But they always come at
it's
it
always
from
like
an
a
angle.
workplace or something.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, I think I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how they used to do voice. It was a Nickelodeon podcast and they were talking about animation and how when he was growing up, he would prank call people, but he can't do it anymore. And so what he does is he does the reverse prank when the scammers call, gives them a hard time and like drags that out. I think that's like the new.
That's pretty hilarious.
That's the new.
Yeah.
That's the new prank style.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right, so we all answer that one? We
Yeah.
did. I have a tendency to move on before I get to everybody's answer. I do
Like
the
my
Camerons
answer's out there. It's
weekly.
fine.
All right, I got a question from Apollo 17, not the NASA. No.
Be very impressive with the word.
Is there a movie or TV show that is or had made a big difference in your life, and why? Apollo said, The Office is what brought one of my good friends and I closer. I think for me, probably Firefly, to go back to a reference y'all knew I'd had to make at some point. When I was still getting into nerd culture and figuring out all this and starting to get into cons, I had just finished watching all of Firefly and really starting to love it. So my first conventions that I went to almost always had Nathan Fillion and or the rest of the cast there. And I never missed an opportunity for autographs, photos, panels, anything to do with Firefly. My first SDCC, they had the 10-year anniversary panel for Firefly. And that was huge. To be in a room with all these other people that shared that fandom. They just showed a little trailer that was like the highlights of the show, and all of us in the audience were near in tears. Just from like sharing that feeling was so cool.
That's awesome.
Big impact. I don't know. I can't really think of anything. It's like, I guess when you have like a roommate or a significant other and you know, like wait for the newest episode of whatever and you guys watch it together, that
Oh,
could
that's
count.
sweet.
But then when it ends badly, then you think about it and you're like,
Like I hate that show.
well, yeah, that show sucks. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of anything that would be impactful.
Yeah.
It's got to be Frasier. I mean, I say it. It's a bit of a canned answer because it's true. But when people ask me what brought me out to Seattle, it's definitely because I was like watching an obscene amount of Frasier.
Were you trying to get the apartment that looked right at the Space Needle?
No, because it doesn't exist. But
Spoiler.
and I also I just thought to myself like I never once thought about Seattle as an option. So as I was watching the show, I did a little research and I go, yeah, this makes sense. So totally, Frasier is responsible for me being out here.
That's actually a follow-up question I was going to ask earlier. So you did move without having a job in advance. You
Totally.
just came out here.
Yep.
Wow.
My best friend lived in Olympia, Washington. Shout out to Tommy Gill, and he and I split the rent and got to know the area. And I love Olympia. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but that town is great, and some of the best Greek. What are those called?
Gyros?
Gyros. Woof. That's so tasty, and yeah, it's fun. I do like that area.
That's bold.
I got nothing for this one.
No.
No, I mean I like a bunch of stuff, but I can't pinpoint one thing that like
Led you to do something?
put me on a different path on my life.
Me either.
I just like things. I don't. But I did have a sidebar on that. You're talking about how like you watch a show with an SO and it doesn't go well, and now you hate that show.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you have a particular song or musician that an ex has ruined for you? Ooh. I will lead it off with Sheryl Crow.
So you hadn't thought
You
about
had
this
this
at all.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's going to take a minute to think about, but yeah, Sheryl Crow just instantly like my eyes starts to twitch, and it's all bad. Yeah,
Country
You
music.
know, Cheryl's an avid listener of the Funko Funkast, and I don't think she's going to
It's not her fault.
This answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mrs. Crow.
Mrs. Crow to you.
Mrs. Crow. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a particular song that I, sadly, even though the breakup didn't go so well, I actually still really like the song, and it does bring back the happy memories of that relationship.
Oh.
I don't know the title of the song, but when I hear it,
I don't really have one
you want.
either.
We'll just wait.
no one wants that. No.
I mean, I had a boyfriend that tried to force me to like country music. And I was like, that's not going to happen.
Swing and a miss.
yeah.
He was barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, it didn't last long though. So I don't know.
Anything for you?
So it wasn't like a full-on relationship, but I was seeing a girl in college that was obsessed with Dave Matthews
I
Band.
knew you were going to say that.
I
knew it.
And her whole house was. And so you walk in, and that's just what is on the radio. And I would lose my
I'm just
mind.
imagining a sorority. Was it a sorority?
It was not.
No.
It was not.
Surprising.
This is a girl that wears Birkenstocks and her apartment smells of patchouli.
No, actually,
She like
not
John
that
Mayer,
either.
too?
No, I don't even know how to explain it. But she was very nice. And we're not necessarily friends now, but we parted ways properly. But because of the ridiculous amount of DMB that I had to subject
Endure.
myself
Put
to
some
it.
Dave Matthews Band on right when we get out of here.
Yeah, please put it on and watch me snap.
I don't wanna see that.
The Sheryl Crow person I was referring to, her best friend was the Dave Matthews enthusiast, and I had to go to her wedding, which, man, so
So much said with no words.
it's like I don't even think she cared about getting married as so much as she wanted to play Dave Matthews songs
Yeah.
during her wedding. So there
That's a reason to get married.
Have
All
you
right.
ever been to a wedding where people are like that? They're doing their vows thing, and then they'll pause and play like a quick musical, like 10, 20 seconds of something. So she did that, but with full Dave Matthews songs. Like we heard them from start to finish.
Those are long songs.
They went on a long time. And she did that, I want to say, at least 5 times during the
Wait.
ceremony.
Okay, so I'm trying to get a visual here.
So-
So are they just standing up there while the whole song plays?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward.
Oh, yeah. And, so
You're
I
all
think,
just staring
I think
at
she
'em?
walked down the aisle to a song, which only took, 25, 30 steps? And then you get there, and then, like, the song's
Like,
barely
the
warmed
song's
up.
play out.
Yeah, we're still, like, in the intro. And then it's just like, we're sitting there, and it's like, all right, this should fade out any second. And then it's just kind of like, all right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, we're,
So it
you
was
know?
a good wedding.
We're in it to win it.
Oh, they were, yeah. God. And that went on for, like I said, about five songs,
Yikes.
which is a long time. So that's, yeah.
I do feel that way about Guns N' Roses because I worked at Vans for 10 years and they played November Rain.
Which is like a
and-
7-minute song.
Oh, and what was the other, like,
Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle? And it just infected the whole staff. We all hated it. Like, every time it would come on, it would be like, someone run and change it. Like,
Yep.
so that's how I feel about Guns N' Roses.
Yep.
Yeah, we had one of those elevator cassettes of music at the clothing store I worked at in college, and it was the one cassette. We would never get a
Yeah.
new one. So in the
Oh,
9
my
months I
God.
was there, I knew I could be singing the next song while one song was still playing.
You had one cassette?
Yeah, we had
One
that.
cassette.
When I started at Vans, they had VHS tapes that would play on TVs in there, and it was
Yeah.
12 songs over and over
Yeah.
and over
Yep.
again. And then they're like, please discard every month because we would get a new one every month. And we're like, no, keep them just to like have more music other than 12 songs
That is
for 10
rough.
hours a day.
I have a question. Do we have the opposite? Do you have an album that like it doesn't matter how many times you listen to the same song or you put it in? Like I have like
Oh.
2
I
or
have
3 records
many.
that I can just
Yeah.
I put in and it's ridiculous. It'll stay in my I don't
Go.
really do the CD deck anymore, but
Right.
oh my Timberland. Timberland shock value.
Really?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would never guess
When
that.
I was in
You.
when I was in Houston, that thing didn't leave because every song is the genres just shift so much that it keeps me entertained. Like
Is that the only one you would say that to?
No, I have many.
Give us
but
2 more.
Andrew WK, the whole I Get Wet album, and He Is Legend, Suck Out the Poison.
Interesting. That's quite.
I got many more, but those are the ones and it's only when I was in Houston because I was in my car a lot for my job, and I would just I beat the snot out of those CDs.
Yep.
Jesse.
Looking at me. Oh, for my albums?
Yeah.
I have many. Probably off the top of my head, The Strokes, Is This It? I can play that one anytime. OK Computer by Radiohead. And actually, The Wall by Pink Floyd. I can always put that on. I have lots. I could go on for a long time.
Yeah.
But
And are those
Same.
even like your
Those are
are those
staples.
like your favorite bands or just albums that you can just put on?
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
Because I was like mine aren't even my favorite bands. They're just albums that Andrew WK.
Well, it's a weird, what do you call that? Venn diagram of I love the band and every song on there is good. 'cause
Right.
That's very rare.
totally.
I got Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, Metallica The Black Album, and Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe.
Wow. There you go.
I would say Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits. I could listen to anytime.
Yep.
Empire of the Sun DNA. I want to say that album is called. I can listen to that anytime. There's a lot. Most 80s Prince. I can listen to anytime.
Particular era of Prince?
Ooh.
Or just like a greatest hits type thing?
Just Greatest Hits probably for the most part because he has some songs that are kind of funky.
You said funky kind of in a bad way though.
Yeah, but like just kind of like I don't know. I just don't like slow music generally. So if it's slow, I'm like Let's move on here.
That makes me think of that An Evening with Kevin Smith. If you guys have not seen that, Jesse let me borrow that one. You got to watch it, and he has a whole bit.
my God.
Well, it's not even a bit; it's a true story.
That Prince segment.
Yeah, about Prince, and apparently, I won't give it all away, but
Yeah.
apparently, there's a vault of unreleased
Oh
music
yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, his estate now still keeps it. They
Yeah.
won't release anything.
That'll get out one day.
Yeah, someday.
He'll be trending in #1 billboards in 50 years from now.
Yeah.
Or I would say Modest Mouse, Minus the Bear, stuff like that.
Nice Minus
But
the Bear.
we
reference.
didn't have any overlap.
Minus the Bear is great. That's probably the band I've seen the most. in my
I was going
life.
to say I've seen Minus the Bear probably about 10, 12 times.
Yeah, me too.
They, especially growing up around here, I used to go to tons and tons of shows.
We were probably at some of the same shows, ironically.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
In my 20s, early 30s, I was going to shows 3-4 nights a week.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I went to a lot, and Minus the Bear was opening for everybody around here, so I saw him quite a bit. Yeah.
They were going to force you to be a fan.
The
or hate them.
guitarist, how he did all the electronica stuff was so cool to watch.
I thought they might have broke through at one point.
Me too.
They got
They were
close. They were
close.
they were riding the tails there of the Death Cab movement.
Yep.
And they just didn't quite get there.
That's
Yeah.
Blue October from Houston was the same way.
I know that band.
They opened for everybody, and I think they made it almost into the real mainstream.
They had a
but never
hit.
quite.
I didn't know they were
Because-
from Houston, but I remember when I was there,
Yeah.
that song, whatever single that they had,
had a big
was
single.
there. Yep.
I know them because I spent most of my life in retail, and that was one of the songs that played. And that's a grocery store song. That's a
Oh,
kid.
that's how you know you made it. So they
And
made it.
yeah, so I heard that song, and I remember asking. I had back when you could first start looking things up on phones. I was like, "Who the hell is this?" Hold your phone up in the air,
Yep.
The first app was Shazam. On iPhones. That
I
was the
still
first
use that.
It's
right?
still
Yeah.
so good. It's so
Yeah.
fast.
Well,
They
it's
built
nice
it into
because
Android
now
phones.
you can Shazam and it'll go right into your Spotify and make a playlist.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I got to use that.
Fantastic.
I haven't used that.
It's
Brilliant.
phenomenal.
All right, we're gonna have to get back on track here.
Sorry.
This is a great little segue though, and good use of the box of questions. Well done, Ashley. Good job,
what I'm
Ashley.
here for.
Ashley, well done.
Thanks. Put it
That's
in
what I
an email
appreciate
later
about
for me,
her.
will you?
There it is. We got a new segment to introduce this week. Something that we've been focusing on a little bit here at Funko. We've got Funko HQ, we've got Funko Hollywood, of course we got the Funko Funkast, and there are opportunities to review all of those on different sites. So we're going through and picking some of our favorites. And for Funko Hollywood, we've gotten a lot of good ones since we opened. But I picked one off Yelp that I'd like to read. And the reason I'm doing this is, one, to share with you guys in case you haven't been to Funko Hollywood, but also to ask you if you've been or have listened to the Funko Funkast, don't forget to leave reviews. That really helps us out with a nice positive review. If you want to give 1 star, well, then don't.
Dang.
That's all I can say. Now, this review for Funko Hollywood on Yelp from Jacqueline S. She said, I was so amazed. I just found out about the store and I had to go. I loved how they had everything by sections, what we call sets. And the giant figurines that you could take pictures with are amazing. From the giant Michael Jordan, the Jetsons, and Twinkie Kid one, and a whole lot more. It's heaven for all the collectors. I am definitely coming back. Absolutely would recommend it to friends and family. It's for all ages. We did not pay her to say that.
And there's no cover charge.
See, that is important to point out. To me, I'm still amazed that that's a question, but it comes up over and over.
It does
and
come
over
up quite a
again.
bit.
It seems a little intimidating. I think it's just
guess.
so pretty and fancy, and they do have some security there at certain points. So I can see how people would be misled into thinking there's a cover, but no, free. Go on it. It's a store.
I think the recent trend of these Instagrammable pop-ups has made that
Because
a question.
because you're always
That's a good
charged
point.
for the
Yeah.
entry into those.
Well, and a lot of people on Yelp are asking, is this a temporary space or a permanent one? I think for
God.
the same reason.
Wow.
Can you imagine if that was temporary?
Oh, I feel so bad for our team if that was the case.
I mean, in all hopes, if everything goes well, it's permanent. And I think it's going to be there for a while. Now, will it get updated in the future? Maybe. We've already done it with HQ. And then for the Funko Funkast, just for fun, I thought I'd pull a review there because we haven't asked everybody to leave a review on iTunes lately. I pulled one from someone called Avengers Endgame. Okay. The title is Best Podcast Ever. That got my attention. And the review is Best Podcast I've ever heard. You guys are so funny and make it fun for the listeners. Even if you're not a fan of Funko, you have to listen to this podcast.
this might be the only podcast I've ever listened to.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking to me.
I'm not a podcast. I don't make time to listen to podcasts.
Me either.
So this is actually the only, I think this is the only one I've ever made an effort to listen to. That was right before I got on. I listened to it, and that was current. But I've never listened to anything else. People think, you should listen to that. I'm always like, yeah, totally. And I never do.
At least you're being nice.
Yeah.
I'm new to the podcast thing. Last time I was on, I admitted that I sit in my car like a psycho.
Oh,
the psychopath.
And just sit there in silence some days because it's relaxing. But one of the fanatics was kind enough to give me an opportunity to listen in on his Spotify, and I've been doing that ever since. And that's why I have anecdotes now of me listening to podcasts on the way to work. It's great. It is a life changer, and it's pathetic that it took me this long to realize how enjoyable it is to listen to people talk. So.
I now have a visual of you standing at a store staring at Nerf guns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you sitting in your car.
Thinking of where to
Do
hide
you
the
still
bodies.
sit in silence?
That's
or-
what
I do. Yeah, once in a while, if I leave the office in kind of a hurry and I don't, because you can't set up your podcast before you have to do that before you leave, right? You can't do that while you're driving. And sometimes I leave in a bit of a
think you
hurry.
can,
I don't. I play by the rules.
Voice command.
I'm not. I will never know how to do that. I don't know how to talk and text. Right? Like it takes your voice and translates it. No idea how to do that. I'm sure it's pretty easy.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm slow to the game.
You'll figure it out.
But yeah, so once in a while I will still listen in silence. But I've been really enjoying the Nickelodeon podcast on like animation, and there's a couple different ones I've been really enjoying.
I was just reading some stats the other day. There are over 850,000 podcasts out there in the world, which seems like a lot until I read that there are 30 million YouTube channels.
It's insane.
Can you imagine?
I don't watch any of those either.
Me either.
I don't.
Girlfriend reviews.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
You get that
caught
through
me.
Reddit a lot of the
One.
times, don't you?
Yeah, he's a Reddit guy.
Yeah, I'm a lurker. I
Yeah.
don't comment either. I don't post.
Ever?
No.
That's probably safe.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just no.
You don't want to jump into the dumpster fire.
No. I just like
You just
to
want to
just
see
wanna
it from
see it.
across the
just like to
parking lot.
watch it burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, do you have a recent favorite podcast other than the Nickelodeon one that you've jumped into? Anything recommended by the fans?
No, I haven't really been suggested any podcasts to listen to. You know what though? During that pre-Thanksgiving one that we had, Hillary had mentioned The Office Ladies, and
Which is very good.
I did get about 4 or 5 episodes into that, and that's super enjoyable. It's unbelievable. That's just the smartest thing I've ever seen anybody do. It's like every week or whatever, go through, talk about a full episode of The Office, and then they just have years worth of content lined up. So brilliant on their part.
There's at least 200 plus episodes.
Yeah, they're gonna get tired at some point, but maybe not. And like all the different guests that they're gonna have on. It's for anybody that's a fan of The Office, definitely.
I really
that's
hope
one
that
to watch,
format
listen to.
lends to more shows just like that, where the stars
Totally.
go back and revisit. Like,
Sure.
I know it's not even over yet, but I'd love to hear Jared and Jensen do a Supernatural podcast with Castiel, with Misha,
Right.
to go through all the episodes, because they've done over 300 episodes of the show. They could go another decade just talking about the thing they did for a decade.
Yeah. So it's super interesting to hear all the behind the scenes stuff, and you forget that they're just regular people going and doing a job, and it's fascinating.
With the Office Ladies, I really love that, like, all these years later, when they rewatched it as fans, and they're able to, like, text somebody that was, like, a producer on the
An
show. and
editor,
go,
yeah.
Hey, can you answer this question that I've always had?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody else gets that kind of access or would even know who to text.
Right.
And they know the exact people, and they all, like you said, that insight to those individual moments.
It's good.
So much fun. Ashley actually turned me onto a Nike podcast.
I don't know if they still do that, do they?
I listened to a few episodes. I haven't gone back in a while.
It was kind of like they were doing it weekly, and then it was like nothing. So I have to look and see if they were still doing.
What do they
that.
talk about?
They would bring various like doctors and trainers and stuff on just to talk about workouts and like nutrition.
But it's not all
and-
about shoes.
No, it's all fitness. It's
Yeah.
it's not about shoes. You'd probably enjoy it.
Does it,
Really?
does
Oh.
an
You'd get your
audio-
sass out of here. You might enjoy it.
Does an audio podcast about shoes work?
Sure.
Like, don't you need to see the shoe?
No,
Nah.
Jesse and I could have a podcast about shoes. And
Because you know enough about
people
it, you
would
can
flock
visualize.
to us.
Yeah. There'd be dozens.
you should. I think this is a missed
Dozens of
opportunity if
them.
you don't. Shoes.
Yeah.
Just like the Never Nudes.
Shoes.
Oh my god, shit.
All right, that was...
You could describe the materials
Yeah.
compared to the old ones.
The colorways.
Colorways.
I've tried watching those review videos on YouTube and stuff, but the hosts are always so loud and obnoxious that I instantly I can't do it.
Which is why you would
You
be a
need
great
to-
you would be a
We're
great host
reserved.
because there's a whole audience just like you wanting a nice docile,
don't wanna be yelled
smooth
at
talking,
without their shoes.
quick
Should we
witted.
start it up?
Your channel would be called I'm Just Happy to Be Here.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Jesse
You guys
and
haven't seen
Ashley.
Jesse in a video. That's his shtick. It's good.
Jesse and Ashley.
And by shtick, I mean that was just him.
Shtick.
Is that your sign off? I'm just happy to be here.
No, I said it once.
said it once.
I said it once just to fill an awkward silence, and it kind of stuck.
I think it
Yeah.
was in a review
It
I
should-
did with you.
Yep, it
with
came
a
back
video.
again.
Yeah. I think.
Okay, well, next one we do. I want to hear it.
I think it did that last one. You left one in there. I was talking about Ray. Yeah, I was like, she's just happy to be here.
Yeah.
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 Because Brian asked
cameo.
me, he's like, "Do you think Ray's going to be in it?" I was like, "She might.
Yep.
It's possible."
I enjoy editing all of the unboxing videos, but oftentimes between Ashley and Jesse, like those are some of the more fun ones to edit.
Did you edit the one of Brian and I doing Rick and Morty? Because that was a funny unboxing.
I
with
think
the
so.
Poop
Yeah.
toilet.
Yes. Yeah. That was ridiculous.
I really didn't know it made noises.
I
Oh,
could tell
boy.
your reaction was pretty genuine, but you handled it well.
Now I got to go watch this.
You got your work cut out.
You gotta
for
post
it,
on that
too.
last one that Ashley and I just did.
Yeah.
It was a rough day for me.
That was a struggle
That's why.
Yeah, it was a struggle
for both of us.
If you might just want to just like, I don't know, but I'm in good hands.
You do nice editing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You do?
Yes, you do.
Appreciate it.
All right, we got one more segment, and then we'll have to get out of here. And the segment is cool stuff.
We're so last week.
Nice.
I like it.
Close.
You should hear when Hillary's on, and she
goes
really
deep.
digs. She's like,
Oh,
cool
really?
stuff.
Yeah.
Like Waterdeep?
Yes, yeah. Every time she does it, like these, like stuff just pours out of the.
It's
ceiling.
better when her and I do it
Yeah.
in tandem. It feels
Yeah.
weird without
They'll
her.
harmonize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool stuff we saw last week. In case you guys don't know, is literally anything cool that you saw last week. Doesn't have to be Funko related. Movies, TV shows,
Kyle's
music,
going to talk about a
books,
pinball machine.
apps
Shush,
you
shush, shush,
found,
shush. I could.
whatever. I think we'll start with Ashley to buy y'all a little time.
Thank you.
Ashley, what do you got?
So my mom has been talking about this show for like weeks and weeks, actually months, and I'm like, yeah, it's an old person show, whatever. But I finally started watching it, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime. It's set in like late 50s, but it's about a couple. They kind of split up, and the guy is doing stand-up at the time. He's terrible at it, and then they break up, and then she starts doing stand-up, talking about their relationship, and she kind of blows up. But it's actually a really good show. The sets and like wardrobes are amazing from that time period. So if you haven't started watching it, I recommend. I'm almost done with season 1.
Delightful. I think mine, because it's so fresh in my head. I saw 1917 last night.
That looks nice.
Yeah, I'm still trying to calm down. It's a ride. It's so good. I'm trying to
Better or worse than Saving Private Ryan?
Oh, just okay.
I threw it out there. I
You
did it.
Nope.
Hot take.
Not
That's a
not
heavy hitter.
I'm gonna go ahead and say not comparable. Just
Wow.
the way that they shot this one was so unique. They went for the single shot takes. There was a handful, and they had to obviously have edits at some point, but there were not a dry eye in the house. Everybody, like, so many sniffles, and everybody's.
I bet I'd make it through without crying.
I'm sure you could. You you cold woman.
Now that's a hot take.
Yeah. But I recommend it. For
Wow. Okay. TV show wise, I'm really into the Harley Quinn show on the DC streaming service. I'm a huge Harley fan, and I feel like it's a hard R. Think of it like the Deadpool movies. Very graphic, not for kids, but it's perfect if you're a Harley fan. Very self-aware and a lot of fun. And movies, I watched Little Women last night, and it was fantastic.
But they're not Little Women, though. They're full-size women. I don't get it.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Maybe later there's a giant women show where they're like all 8 foot tall, and then this
There
one
you
gives
go.
its perspective.
Too tall. Too
It's,
tall to be
it's
Little
all
Women.
relative.
Are you excited for Birds of Prey?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the trailer actually this morning, the new trailer. It looks just off the wall.
I love the actress that plays Harley Quinn.
Oh, she does
I
such a great
forget her
job.
name,
Margot
but
Robbie.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's another one that I was super, super nervous about because whenever your favorite comic book character, someone you've grown up with, that gets cast real life, you
Like, can they live up to the hype?
yeah, and she nailed it.
Yeah.
I think most people are pretty happy with her performance. Suicide Squad as a whole, not a good film, but
Her part was
She
fantastic.
was
I really liked her and the
amazing.
Joker in that, and Will Smith was okay in that.
yeah, he was good too.
Yeah.
They were the highlights, but I'm definitely looking forward to
Yeah.
this one. Just looking even, this looks like a live action cartoon.
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be completely insane. I don't know if it'll be good, but it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. There's a lot of stuff from the comics that they worked into this, which I think will please a lot of people.
I think it'll be better than Suicide Squad.
I would
I
think
certainly
That's
so.
a low
so.
bar, so I hope so.
I actually kind of enjoyed the film, but not from a like I'm going to watch it over and over and over
Just
again.
thought the
Just
characters
if it's
were
on,
whack.
just What's
I
that?
said I just thought the characters were whack.
Well, most of them.
The whole premise is, it's
Yeah.
pretty whack. I tried to watch it a second time at home.
Was it
and
the
I couldn't
was it
make
an what was the alligator guy or
That's Killer
Croc.
Croc.
Killer
Croc.
Croc? Yeah, it was that guy sucked.
They
But if there's an alien witch
No, he
taking
dipped.
over a city, you definitely want your best knot tire to show up to the game.
Yeah.
That guy
Yes.
just tied knots, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not making it right. I'm not making it.
Yeah.
Isn't that a shtick? That
They
the
make
dude
a
that
two?
threw a
Was there a
boomerang.
Suicide Squad 2?
There will
they
be.
are.
Directed
Oh.
by James
James
Gunn.
Gunn.
Okay, that'd be better.
And
Is
they're
it
calling
two-
it more of like a soft reboot.
It's yeah, they're redoing it.
Well, they're going to have some of the same characters in there,
Yeah.
but they're redoing it. So, but hey, James Gunn, I
Good for them.
totally
We're just
believe
kinda
he'll
sweeping
be
it
able to
under the
save
rug.
it. Yeah.
Swing and a
Brilliant.
miss. Yeah, the first time. Let's do it
He'll
again.
add a killer soundtrack to it, and it'll just be home run city.
God, speaking of that, Suicide Squad trailer was one of the coolest trailers.
That
I ever
that's
saw.
they did the best editing for that.
It was
I think that-
amazing. And gosh, I think there should be an Oscar category.
What was
for
that? The
best trailer
Bohemian
these days.
Rhapsody is what
It
they
was
cut it
so
to?
good.
Yeah.
That was like I've watched that trailer. I still watch that from time to time because it was just so well done.
That
And then the
trailer
movie
made
was
them an
just a-
extra 50 mil.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep. I really do hope that Birds of Prey is good. I personally didn't like the trailers, and I'm like, trying to be optimistic, but my expectations are pretty low.
Yeah.
But I do like her as well.
I
as
mean, I'll
Margot
be there
Robbie.
day one, but I'm trying to keep it. I mean, I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I'm so excited
Same.
that she's Huntress.
It's better to go in with low expectations. So you're always
Yeah.
going to have a better time if you
Life's motto.
We're right. Expect very little.
I'd like that on a shirt.
That's how I got through Up 9.
Hot take.
My cool stuff I saw last week was I started Secession on HBO.
I watched 2 episodes of that so far. I need to get back to it.
About 4 in. It's definitely a very slow-moving drama. It's about a billionaire who's the head of a company who is looking to hand it off to family members, one of his kids. That's the secession part. And trying to pick who it is, but then some things happen.
I'm going to pick
As
that back up
opposed
when
to-
I have time just to strictly devote to like plowing through that.
It's one of those you have to pay attention
Yeah.
to, and it's slow-moving, so you could fall asleep if you're not careful.
Yeah, which happens to me often.
Yes.
I saw the
think
trailer
many of
for
us.
season 4 of Fargo today. That looks really,
Love
really
Fargo.
good. I think if you guys watch the show,
I watched season 2. I didn't watch 3.
3. I loved 3.
Yeah.
It was so good.
2 was
Uh,
fantastic.
great.
Have you
but-
seen the trailer
you
for
skip
4
one?
yet?
No, I have
I
not
did.
watched. I know
Did you
Chris
really
Rock.
skip
Yeah.
season one?
Yeah,
Well, it's like one of
it's-
those shows where you can just
is
watch
not-
it
yeah.
any season.
They 1, 2, and 3 all live in a shared Fargoverse. Even though each story is individual, they do loosely tie into one another. So if they continue with this in 4, I'm curious to how they do it because this one is a period film. Looks like it's about the 40s, and it's definitely not in the Midwest, or maybe it is, but it's not in that Fargo.
I just love the
area.
accents, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're good.
Like,
yeah.
'cause you have some of those.
Well,
from
Yeah, you
my
got
whole
some of
family
that.
lives in Minnesota, so whenever we go back there, it's like everyone's accents come out, you know. Like
There's
going in the
one.
boat.
There's
the
a woman
boys
in the
boat.
trailer that's from Minnesota that still has the accent. So it must
There you go.
somehow tie. I'm assuming that
moves
maybe some
away.
of these characters in 4 will be the parents or some kind of early relation to the characters that we know. But it looks good. The production value looks amazing on it.
I mean, it's going to be a winner.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Is it on FX?
Yeah.
FX does a
Yeah.
great job with shows. I feel
They
like
do.
they're kind of underrated.
They don't do so many, but when
Uh-huh.
they do, they're quality.
Yep.
I really hope that they do 10 seasons of this where everyone slightly ties into the other, and then they have like a movie or a show
That would be-
ties them all together
Oh, wow,
heavy.
that'd be cool.
Like brings characters from each of the episodes or each of the seasons into one big. I think it could be amazing, kind of like an MCU, but
Yeah.
a little more subtle.
Fargoverse.
There
It's
you
not
go.
the Pidgeyverse, I'll tell you that. Okay, I think that's all we got for the week. So thank you for joining us, Kyle. Thanks for joining us, Jesse. Hopefully
Thanks for
not your
having me.
last time. I doubt it will be.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, this is lovely. Thank you so much for the invite.
You know about our sign-off thing?
I don't have one, but yeah, I know about it.
So you're going to need one.
Okay. I'm going to just pick it back
On
off
the
yours.
spot.
I'm also happy to.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no, that's too easy. You can't do
Original.
that.
Original? Okay.
You got
Allegedly.
a quote
Oh,
mean
yeah,
something
no.
to you? A motivational thing? Do you have something already?
I think that's what I did last time. It was just bye-bye.
That's why I use the Star Wars.
Then I'm never going to do that
Star
again.
Wars.
Bye-bye.
If you've
Bye-bye.
already done it once, you might as well own it now. So
Bye-bye.
Wow.
hear the enthusiasm. All right, so we do a thing where I count down 3, 2, 1, then we all say ours at the same time. It's terribly confusing. I don't know why we do it, but we keep doing it. So in 3, 2, 1.
Bye-bye.
I will not be tamed.